This is Maurice Jones-Drew,
Yes.
Yep.
top 31, 32 rankings in running backs, and he has Chuba Hubbard listed as 15. And not
Yeah,
only
that
is that,
changed, by the way. He had him at 14 literally an hour ago.
oh really?
Yeah. So he must have done something to adjust that. I actually have a slight issue with this. They actually have a rookie that hasn't had any playing time in the entire NFL. They actually have him rated above him, 3 spots above him. And listen, I get, yeah, that's that. And that's, by the way, not even who you think it is. It's a Marion Hampton. Yeah. So they have a Marion Hampton. I'm sorry. And they have him,
Press
above.
escape.
Yeah, they have him ahead of like Ashton Genty isn't even above him. They got him above Ashton Genty, above James Conner, above Chuba Hubbard, Kenneth Walker.
I think that's the team he's going to.
Here's the thing:
that he's going to play with.
That doesn't matter to me.
Like to just beat it down.
Sure, but that's wild, dude. It's here's the thing: I've never seen, even when you look at quarterback rankings, there's never been any person who's ranking quarterbacks and is like brazen enough to put them in the top 20 at any point. Like, it doesn't, if they've never played it down in the NFL, there's not a single person that does that normally. And so that's wild to me. Another thing that's wild to me, I think that his 3 fumbles lost are his biggest hold up, in my opinion, because I think they've got some name recognition on this too. Like, they have Aaron Jones above him at rank number 9, right? Their stats are like
he's
almost
right now, correct?
Yeah, their stats are almost identical, and except for Chuba has more rushing touchdowns, and he has 1 less receiving touchdown. But they both have 3 fumbles lost. They both played. Actually, Chuba has the same total yards that he has. Actually, I think Chuba has more than him, and he played 2 games less than Aaron Jones did. So, I mean, like, it's just, I know Maurice Jones-Drew is like, is doing his best to try to, like, get I guess the name recognition is going to be important in this, but that's just, it's a crazy thought that you've got Chuba 15 when and G Baby's going to disagree with me, but like, I'm not a fan of Chuba, from, his first few years, but last year the dude was pretty impactful when we had nothing to, like, we didn't have any passing game. He was still out there doing things when they knew it was only him. And I think that that's something that's incredibly valuable. So I don't know, man. I don't think he's getting respect like he should in my mind.
Then real quick, thank you to Stonewall for the $4.99 C3 bomb. Says I would like to see a pounding run game and Bryce Young throwing deep, and they have 8 in the box. Keep pounding. Listen. To me,
do you have a problem with the list, Cody? And
no, and I'm about to bring it up.
I'm trying to find
it.
You got it.
I got it.
I think that, like, CK's making some of this is some name recognition, right? I think there's a little bit there. I think also there is, and like G Baby said, look, is this rookie going to this team is head and shoulders just a better player? Maybe not right. It's not a list of what you did last year, but what you really think is going to be the case, right? So he's a first round pick, 22nd overall, going to a team that loves to pound it and is really getting better. So there are some of those things, I think, and Aaron Jones, that name stuck out to me, right? But I also think too is like, look, while the rushing yards are there, he's a little older in so many ways. Is that I think that's a fair criticism, but I don't think the Panthers team as an overall is good enough to really propel us to where it's like,
Hey, can I point your attention to the last place in the NFC West in the San Francisco 49ers? And they have Christian McCaffrey having only played 4. I mean, listen, I get it, but now you really have to have a conversation about injury with this dude now. Like that's
Yeah, but when do you at what point, CK, can you realistically ever make a list of an active player with Christian McCaffrey and put Chuba Hubbard ahead of him?
Well, I'm not saying he goes ahead of him, but I'm telling you, Christian McCaffrey cannot be in the top 10 given what he's dealt with like last year. And even if you were to try to,
fair.
Even if you were in a position where you were looking at the fact that he's on the 49ers, well, the 49ers were actually one of the worst teams in the NFL last year.
I'm kind of with you. Like, this is one of those, is like it takes a lot of guts to make a list where you put Christian McCaffrey outside of the top 10. Yeah. But I think it's right at this point is like, but as soon as you put him outside, Christian McCaffrey is bad year, good year, bad year, good year. And so he's probably going to be 1,500 yards this year.
Yeah, I mean, remember before Saquon did what he did, people were counting him out, But then he goes to the to the Eagles, and they have that incredible offensive line, and look what they're able to do.
I think it's great that they put Josh Jacobs this out. I love this because
I agree. I think Josh Jacobs
was shit on so much for not being able to catch the ball at all.
Remember, they played him during the Hall of Fame game. You remember that?
Yeah, right.
I mean, dude, Chuba Hubbard, if you look at his numbers, they are every bit as good as all of the guys in the top half of this list. I mean,
I think it's a good spot. I would put him ahead of James Conner.
Yeah, I would too. 4.8 yards per carry. That's damn near 5 yards a carry. Like, you have to be a really powerful, sure-footed running back to be able to do that. It doesn't matter how good the offensive line is in front of you. So, I mean,
look at Connor's numbers. Let's get them both on the screen. Scroll up a hair. See if we can get them both on the screen.
Yeah, this is both.
All right, so about the same yards per carry if you look at it.
Chuba has more 15. Yards.
Yeah, but he had a good 16 more carries, but for 100 yards more. 15 carries for 100 yards. So it's about 4.8, 4.6.
10 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
43 receiving yards to 47. Pardon me, 414 receivers. So, okay, Conner was better in the receivers. But, yeah, I mean, Chuba is absolutely a top running back in the NFL. Absolutely.
I'm glad that, I don't feel like this is disrespectful. Like, if they put him outside the top 15,
I have no problem.
I'd be upset. I do think there is a component of saying we can move him to 14. Let's see who 13 is. Let's see what the highest we could put.
13 is the one that's ridiculous.
Oh, well, but the rookie.
Right? Yeah, he's a rookie. He's a rook. And by the way, look how stupid, right? So,
but if you drafted at top,
Ashton Genty, who's also a rookie, who is also the highest rated or the highest drafted running back, is number 17.
I think maybe it has to do with the coach and the team a little bit and preference. You got to mix it up a little bit. You got to make a list. You want to make people upset, you make a list, CK.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
So take him out of it. So say we could put him at 13. Say we do this. Say if we were making our list and we said, look, we're going to put Chuba at 13, then just put the Hampton and Connor after him. Mixon, you know what? To be honest, how about this? Go there. I'm ready to put him ahead of Joe Mixon.
Yeah, I have no problem.
Joe Mixon of today and the Chuba Hubbard of today, not the Joe Mixon of the past. Right? 4.1 yards, 36 carry. What? And on the back end of his career, a little bit. I mean, so how about we get all right? So 12. I'm ready to put Chuba right.
He was also in PFF's below 65 grades, which again, PFF, take that for what it's worth. But
right, let's look at 11 next.
James Cook, I don't mind that at all. On a really good team.
The Buffalo Bills. The only thing with him is I think the rushing yards and his, but his comes from the fact that he was like a stalwart on actually goal line situations and what have you.
No fumbles, 16
no fumbles.
I'm not putting Chuba ahead there.
I think Chuba got hurt on these rankings because of the fumbles, and I think obviously being on the Panthers as well is not great for that, to be quite honest. But I think that it was that. I think it was the fumbles, and I think the fumbles being in some of the worst times, like when we lost that game to Tampa Bay in overtime because he fumbled the ball after that incredible catch from Thielen. Like it's a similar thing to the Xavier Leggett situation where it was really a matter of the scenario and why him dropping the pass against the Eagles. Like it's same thing, I think, is it makes it worse in many people's eyes, I think.
Jamari says this, y'all is delusional. Laffy, y'all are delusional, Laffy. That if you hit me with that Laffy emoji I can have. My ex-wife did the turn one over when she wanted to shit on me. So thank you for not doing the sideways one. If you really
Jamari, look, I respectfully disagree, brother. Chuba was better than Joe Mixon last year. If you're saying
this is about this year coming,
if you're
forward.
saying that historically,
right,
Joe Mixon is better than Chuba, okay. I also know that,
I agree. 3 years ago,
Chuba Hubbard has been a 1,000-yard rusher behind worse offensive lines than whatever Joe Mixon was dealing with.
I agree, and I am a Chuba. Historically a Chuba hater.
I've been one of his biggest defenders from even back when he was dropping passes. So y'all know.
I did not like him, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think that. I think if you put Joe Mixon at 12 here, you're basing on his past, not on his present, right? I mean, and Joe Mixon, when he went to the Texans, to be honest, I think a lot of people thought that he had not only lost a step, right, but it was like the back end of his career. But you're talking about, look, if you go, Joe Mixon 9 years, and there's a wall. There is a wall for running backs, and maybe Joe Mixon extended his career by 2 more years. I don't know. Will Joe Mixon be the guy in Houston entirely?
So, they also signed Nick Chubb. So Nick Chubb is over there too. To Houston.
Yeah,
it's Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb.
Yeah, but it's pretty apparent that Nick Chubb is going to be the backup to Mixon, which is a wild thought. But Chuba just hasn't been, or Nick Chubb rather hasn't been himself since that injury, and so
he's had 3 giant ones too.
Yeah. And if some of y'all are using the eye test, y'all got shitty eyes, bro. Because y'all are talking about players that were in their prime like 4 years ago.
Yes.
So it's like Chuba is in his prime right now, and you can make a legit case that he has done more with less. Right? Like, look how many weapons the Bengals had throwing the football. The Texans have had throwing the football. All of these other running backs have been on better football teams, and yet Chuba Hubbard has been a 1,000-yard rusher damn near 3 years in a row.
So if you were if you were a GM today and you only had one option going forward, not just for one game, but an entire season and potentially 2 seasons, I don't think you're taking Joe Mixon over Chuba Hubbard right now.
No.
4 years ago, yes. Right. I mean, Chuba won't even league then. I can't believe when is I think Bucky Irvin, Toast.
Yeah, let's go down the list. Bucky Irvin.
Right. Like he's not only a badass, right? But a star in the making. So fine, like there's no question there that should be ahead of the star power, right? Like what he can be.
And by the way, that's also with the fact that Chuba did this with no other pieces. Like we knew that he was the only person doing
That's
anything,
what I'm saying. Right? Yeah, man.
When you look at places like Buffalo, right, you have Josh Allen, who also is a running threat. So that opens up a lot more things for James Cook, right? You have Bucky Irving, who has a Mike Evans and a Chris Godwin and all that. So that opens up different things for him, right? Chuba did this being basically the only piece on this offense
on a
for the
terrible
majority
team
of the year. Yeah.
On a team that was we didn't want to watch them.
Yeah. And so and here's the thing is he has consistently we're going to be real about it, right? Majority of us as fans did not want Chuba to get that contract that he got.
Joe Mixon did have a good season last year.
But damn if he didn't earn that money at the beginning of throughout the year. He's not getting paid top 10 money. He got paid pretty decent for what he performed at. And now all of a sudden, this dude's playing to what that contract is and probably above what the contract we gave him, at least for that first year.
How about this? Chuba Hubbard was statistically better than Aaron Jones with 2 games, with 2 less games played.
Yeah,
had more rushing touchdowns, more yards per contact, more total rushing yards. Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can listen. I don't mind Chuba Hubbard being ranked where he is. I'm not saying that it's egregious or anything like that. But to the few people in the chat talking about Chuba being overrated or he's not as good as all these fucking has-beens, you're being ridiculous. The dude did the same amount of numbers with less around him.
Yeah.
I don't know what Chuba will ever have to do to get respect. He's Rodney Dangerfield, damn it. No respect. And he deserves it.
Hey, listen, it took us a while to give it to him.
Interesting. The Joe Mixon is an interesting one. If you look at his game log from last year, I guess we're all waiting for a fall off on a player, right? But he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games with over 100 yards rushing. Pretty badass. The problem was his first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games this season, he didn't have but 20. The most he had was 57 yards.
Yeah.
Did pop off big. Is he an ageless wonder, maybe? And maybe when you make these lists, are you trying to forecast what it's going to be, not what it was?
Yeah, that's a good point. Which, by the way, if we're forecasting what it's going to be, I have no problem putting Chuba even higher on this list.
But only by 2 right now. Or 2 or 3. So I actually don't have a problem where he's listed. I just think there could be an argument that he could be 1 or 2 spots ahead for this year coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not freaking out over the ranking itself, but it's I think go ahead.
I'm more frustrated by the people that they have ahead of him. Like some of the people, I should say.
Well,
like
what are
Aaron
the,
Jones?
what
I
are
don't think Aaron Jones and a rookie. Like I mean, I could make an argument that he could be in the top 10. You know, if you look at the top 10 and look at the body of work of many of them, it's I think there is a chance that he could have been. But listen, I understand, and it's as frustrating as it is. It is the nature of the beast when you are on a team like the Panthers right now, and there's a lot of people in the league that have been bullish on us as we are trying to build our team back up. But listen, here's what it is. I mean, we're going to have to prove it. We're going to have to earn everything that every ranking, everything that every nice word anybody wants to say about us is going to have to come because we've earned it. Nobody's just going to give us anything. There might be a few people that have nice things to say about us, but for the most part, we're going to have to make sure that we're a good team, and that's the only way this is going to change.
Baby, I do think I defended C-Mac in the quality of player he was while he was here. I do. I think I was there and saying this is the elite of the elite on a bad team.
And
I also don't think this is. I think Chuba Hubbard, when we're putting in these rankings of 15 to 10, I don't think in the future he is going to be a top 8. Like, I think he's always going to be in that range of 9 to 14, right? Like he's really solid in overall, but I don't think he has the star effect of a Christian McCaffrey, right? Like a guy who's can dominate games. But I do think I don't know, man. Look, is like we'll see if Joe Mixon continues to produce. I think he looks slower a little bit, but man, them numbers. He had 159 yards rushing in the final game of the season in a divisional game against the Colts. Joe Mixon. So
Yeah, I mean,
look,
listen, I'm
hey,
not saying he's a bad player, but for example, a lot of people are pretending like he's Jonathan Taylor. I mean, look at what Jonathan Taylor did in 14 games. You know, he had 1,431 yards, 4.7 yards per carry, 11 rushing touchdowns. Like, the dude is a producer. No matter what, when that dude is healthy,
who,
he is
Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
Yeah, but people
Taylor is
pretending
a top
like
5 back.
yeah, people pretending like Joe Mixon is a Jonathan Taylor like, bro, that's fucking delusional, man.
All right. As a
You
Chuba
want
Hubbard hater myself, I am now a appreciator of Chuba Hubbard, right?
yeah,
And that is, you know what? He's better to have on the team than not have him. I do like how the Panthers said, we're going to give you money. You've earned it. You've gotten better and better, but we're not going to just ask you to do it alone. I think we really need to talk about the Dowdle addition here
Mhm.
and how that not only can make Chuba Hubbard continue or help support him in being a stalwart, like a constant. I don't think Chuba Hubbard is a guy who is going to be all of a sudden at the on the headlines of week to week at any point.
yeah,
I think though now with the tandem, though, it can really help.
bro.
It can really help. And you know what? If Chuba has to miss a
Yeah,
couple of games, Dowdle could be a guy. And don't forget, we added Etienne in the draft.
yeah,
Right?
Trevor Etienne. To your point, um, they have Jameer Gibbs up here, who he was splitting time with David Montgomery, but that's you see how they are able to split time between both of them, and the Lions were one of the best running teams in football. Shout out to the Hope Dealer. He wanted us to be like the Eagles. I think the Lions are another good example of what we could do just by following their lead, running the football. You have two good running backs. You have an offensive line that can really just, bully dudes in the trenches. And yeah, I feel like this is they're laying out the blueprint, no pun intended, for what we want to do. By the way, G Baby's so delusional. G Baby believes that the Panthers fucking hit me up on my cell phone and said, "Yo, Cody, take some time out from your pod for a minute and tell us, should we get rid of Christian McCaffrey?" And I was like, yeah, bro, ship him out for pennies. G Baby, you might have to be the most delusional fan in all the fandom, bro. We love you, but your levels of delusion are through the roof, man. Through the absolute roof. Shout out
And this
Chuba.
podcast didn't influence that. At the same time, though, I was glad that it happened. Not necessarily for the Panthers, but look at the trajectory of what the Panthers have been, right?
Yeah. You also don't have Bryce Young if it's not for trading Christian McCaffrey.
Right,
The
which
picks that
Debbie needs to admit that part.
right, and he never
Also, like,
will.
I'm also happy that Christian McCaffrey went and became what we saw a little bit with that, right? Like he had the opportunity. He's still top 10 and he is in Germany getting stem cells, basically.
Yeah. I want to see if Rico Dowdle is on this list. I
No
have
way.
not looked past 15. I mean, he was a
Yeah, I didn't
1,000.
look past maybe
That's what I'm
8.
saying. I have no idea.
No, this is a ranking running back ones.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is only going to be one player per team.
Oh, so David Montgomery is not even on the list.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
27. Yeah.
Damn, A-Chain's kind of low.
Look at this. I wonder if are any of these guys on the back end, does Travis Etienne have a bounce back? Is his career done? You know?
Yeah, that's a. There was talk
I
that
like
they
how
might trade
Najee
him.
Harris is gone.
Yeah, just completely. Just is there even a? Yeah, Jalen Warren on here
Pittsburgh doesn't
instead.
even care about him. And is he on
Yeah,
Pittsburgh?
Najee Harris went to the Chargers, I think. Where'd
Interesting.
Najee go?
Departure.
Yeah, he's with the Chargers now.
And now they got a rookie ahead of him. Interesting stuff. All right, Cody, why don't we do this as we